Hello, hello, I'm Zoe Alex. Hello. Basically, this is gonna be for a tarot card reading for Sagittarius. This is gonna be for October the 6th to October 11th of 2025. So basically, in this reading for you, Sagittarius, I understand that there are going to be very interesting ways to considering what's going on in this whole entire way about how this is. This is not a diversion. This is the way how in this perspective. Because the way how it goes is going to be very interesting in that way. Because this is the way it goes, right? It's the way it happens. So nowadays we're going to understand what's going on in the situation. Because this is the way how it goes in this way, and this is the way it kind of is in a way of understanding, and this is how it is from the this is the way it goes, but this is the way it seems to be. So this oracle card, it says adversity, accept that challenges are the best way to learn. That's how it goes when you accept about having your own challenges. The best way to learn, it's like a test, right? If you have a test and you have to practice with it, you practice first, then you're going to take the test. That's the way it goes, right? So when you have that, you have the ability to understand that in that way, and you understand that you need to believe that everything seems to be good, but in that way, you need to understand that you need to use your own ways about knowing what to do, and this is how it goes. You're trying to understand what's happening in this way because you need to understand that, right? So that's how it goes. Okay. So this is going to be for you versus them in this situation, because this is the way it kind of goes in that way. This is how it goes in that way. So it's going to be for the you versus them in this situation, and then we're going to figure out basically who's on the left side, who's on the right side, and then who's in the middle of this situation. So it's the way how it looks for you, Sagittarius. Okay, so this is how it is. All right. So in this situation, we have the Seven Cups star, right? There's a delusion here, so you might have a deja vu moment, because this can be you. So you might be dealing with an Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. In that perspective, that's the way it goes. And on the right side, you have the High Priestess spirits because they're not using their inner voice. It could be you versus them, right, in this situation, but you have to go with your own situations to understand about how it goes. So we're going to clarify on the left side for you. 9 Pentacles, you're feeling uncomfortable. 5 Wands, there's no chaos. Page Swords, there's no education. Ace Swords, there's anxiety. Yeah, because you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't know what to do, but you feel like you're feeling uncomfortable, you can't do this, that's how it goes. You're trying to figure out about, why I'm feeling like this, because that's the way it goes, Sagittarius. You need to get to the point where things to be in that perspective, as a good, interesting way, because you understand about how it goes in that way. You're trying to be who you are and understand about how you're going to be in that perspective, because that's how you can do it in the wonderful feeling. It's like, okay, this is the way it goes, this is the way it happens, alright, I guarantee you, because that's the way it works. So you might be dealing with generally Aquarius in that perspective, but that's how it goes. What's on the right side for them? Sagittarius, there's no movement. For a cup start, there's a distraction. The Devil yours, there's no obsessions. 3 1 star, there's communication. Obviously, Sagittarius, you want to have communication. They want to have communication. You're feeling anxiety because it's like, why are you feeling like this? Why? There it is. So, this is like a very way of knowing what to do, but then this is how it is, because you're trying to have your own, the way how you're feeling in that perspective, because that's how it goes, right? This is like the way how you can accept what you want in that way, because you have to go with the flow, right? That's how it goes. So this is going to be you versus them in this situation. So let me clarify. The Emperor's Series, there's no nourishment. Temperance Series, there's no healing. The Tower is over, there's transformation. Everything's changing. That's how it goes, Sagittarius. This is you, by the way, right? And you understand that when you're using your own way about transforming, everything's changing, and everything's transforming, right? That's how it goes. This is the way how it goes, but this is the way it seems to be in that way, because you understand that that's how it goes. And when you do it, it's like, okay, everything's going to be happening, or I know what to do. Yes, but that's how it goes in that way. For them, let's see. Wheel of Fortune's alright, they're going to have good luck. the world reverse, there's incompletion. Just reverse, they're not telling the truth. They're lying about something. Those reverse, there's no decisions. Then the high priest is upright, they're using their inner voice. Obviously there is. If they are not using their own truth, just because they're lying about something, I have no idea why that they're lying about something, but something is not going to look good in this process, because that's the way it kind of is in this situation, right? So it's like, okay, well, this is not going to end well. No, it's not. But let's see. So let me clarify this tarot for you. The moon is upright, there's meditations. The star is upright, there's inspiration. You're wishing upon a star. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Chariot reverse, there's no progress. High Priestess reverse, those are no voice. The Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions. The Emperor is upright, you want to have nourishment because you're feeling nourished, right? That's how it goes. And when it does comply to you, that's how it works in that way, right? So this is how it's going to be. Sagittarius, you know what it is in that way. You're trying to have your own time frame. You know how it goes in that way because this is how it's going to be. You know how it is in that way. Let's put this High Priestess card for them. Because it's upright, they're want to tell you the truth. The world is upright, there's completion. The other years, there's no decisions. Strength every year, so they're feeling scared because that's the way it works. Tarot years, there's no transformation. Wheel of Fortune years, so they're having bad luck, right? So they're feeling scared. They are basically having bad luck because things are not going as planned. So it's like you're saying, well, this is not going to end well. No, it's not. Because for them, they're saying, well, you know, I can't do this anymore. I want to use my inner voice. I want to do things. I want to tell you the truth. But then it's like, I'm in fear about, if I lie about something, it's like, it's not going to end well. No, it's not. So you understand about what's going on in this situation, no matter what it is, no matter how you're going to face in that reality. Let's see what's going on. So let's see for you about this Empress card for you, Sagittarius. The Strength card is upright, there's bravery. Star is upright, there's inspiration. The Sun card there's negativity, right? So you are drawn into this negativity. So when you're drawing into it, it's like, well, you know, if you're being bravery, you're having bravery. But when you have negativity, you're basically drawn to it, Sagittarius. Things are not going as planned because it's like, well, I don't want to do this. I want to quit. But you know what, Sagittarius, you can't quit. You have to move along. You have to process. You have to believe that everything's going to be fine. You know, that's how it goes. You have to understand about when you give, you forget. Or whatever it is, right? You're trying to understand that, and when you do it, that's the way it works, in that way. For them, let's see what's going on with this Wheel of Fortune. Tarot is upright, there's transformation. Wheel of Fortune reverse, they're having bad luck. Justice is upright, they're telling the truth. Obviously, they are. Because in ways, they're between telling the truth, make up a lie, going back and forth. You know, that's how it goes. It's like, why are you doing it? Why? Because they are basically saying, well, you know, if they are using the word adversity, they want to make their own challenges. They want to make it as ways about how it is. They are not trying to get certified for it, but how it is, that's the way it works in that way. It's like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't want to mess up. No, because in that way, you're trying to figure out, well, this is not going to end well. No, it's not. Let's see what's opposite with this Sun card for you, Sagittarius. Chariot years, there's no progress. The Hangman years, there's no restrictions. Mirror years, there's misrotations. And the Hermits are rather solitude. Yeah, because you already have a soulmate. Always. But if you're looking for a soulmate, you're going to look for a soulmate again, Sagittarius. There's ways to understand about what you want, what you get. But then you understand that, right? You're saying, well, I want to participate with this. I want to keep going. Yes. But in that way, then why are you doing it, right? That's how it goes, Sagittarius. You have to figure out that if you want a soulmate, you know how it goes. Because you're thinking, okay, I know what to do. But this is the way how it works. You're trying to have your own solitude. That, yes, you probably have a soulmate. Maybe you probably do. But it all depends on you. It's the way how it is. You're trying to have your own sensitivity to understand what you want, what you get, what you need. But that's how it goes in that way. You try and follow your own emotions of how you're feeling in that way, because that's how it goes. So you understand that. perfectly well. So let's see what's going on. So let me clarify this Hermit card for you. The Knight of Wands is right. There's basically immaturity. World Reverse, there's incompletion. Since Sorceress, you're feeling deceit. Knight of Cups, there's romance. Yeah, because you're acting like to have immaturity, but then you're acting like you're gonna have, romance because you're being romantic. Yes, it is. Because you want things to happen your way, in that way, because that's how it goes. Sagittarius, you need to understand about, you have to divine the word adversity. You basically understand that, right? That's how it goes. So you understand what it is in that way, because this is how it goes. What's this Justice card for them? Three Cups here, there's no excitement. The Empress here, there's no nourishment. Ace starts is up right there in anxiety. Yeah, because they're feeling sad right now. They're feeling sad because things are not going as planned. Because it's like, well, if you want to act like this, you're going to act, right? They are acting like that because, it's like, this is how it goes. He's not trying to get carried away. It's like, this is the way how it goes. And when you do it, it's like, this is like a vice versa situation. No matter how it goes, no matter how ugly it gets, but you understand how it is in this situation of how it goes, right? So let's see. So you versus them. I'm going to figure out who's in the middle of this situation. It comes to stuff, right? There's basically entertainment, right? So when you have entertainment, you're going to entertain, right? Now, the way of how you're going to have your own way about having entertainment, you pay attention to what you're going to be doing in that way, because that's how it goes. So you understand of how it is. So let me clarify. So I'll do one card for you on the left side. Page of Pentacles is upright. There's basically perspective here, prospects, because that's the way it goes. So you understand that. What's on the right side for them? Nice short story. There's trauma here, right? That's how it goes, right? So they're whimpering, they're crying, that's how it goes. You're saying, well, this is not going to end well. No, because that's how it goes. You're not focusing on them, and they are not focusing on you, but that's how it goes in that way, right? It's just in between, right? So you understand what you want, but that's how it goes. Let's see what this Page of Pentacles is about. Just in yours, you're not taking action. Wherever yours, there's incompletion. Second cup, sorry, there's a delusion. Yeah, because you're having basically a deja vu moment. Because you're thinking, well, this is going to be exactly how I'm feeling in that way, because you're trying to have your own quota to understand what you want, but that's how it goes, right? That's just the way it works. So you might be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in that way, but that's how it goes, right? That's the way it works. What's this Nine of Swords for them? Queen of Pentacles, you want stability. Nine of Swords, there's drama. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? So for them, they're basically having drama, and they want to have, stability of having money and all that stuff. They want to have things to be going their way as it goes, or they trying to impose what they're doing in that way, because it's kind of upsetting them in that way. What's happening with this Eight of Cups? A1 Spirits, there's no speed. Page 1 Spirits, there's no, invention. The Hierophant Reverse, there's no guidance. H1 Sword, there's basically new beginnings, right? That's the way it kind of goes, because that's how it goes. It's kind of, travels fast in this way, but you understand what you want, what you get, but then you understand how it goes in that way. Sagittarius, you have to go with the flow. When you do it, it's like, okay, this seems to be very interesting, because that's the way it works, right? This is the way it is in that way, because you have to understand that, right? That's how it is in this way, right? So you know what I mean, right? That's the way it kind of happens in that way, because you understand of how it goes. Let's see what this universe is saying. So we go from the middle to the right, middle to left. Queen of Swords, there's no empathy. Eight of Swords, there's anxiety. Six of Pentacles, there's kindness. Queen of Pentacles, there's stability. Seven of Cups, there's a delusion. Obviously there is. And the King of Cups, there's support. So basically for them, they're saying that, why are they crying? Why they have the stability or kindness or deja vu? Because they understand what's going on in this way. And, Sagittarius, for you, you have to pay attention to what they want. Because you understand that. You're trying to give and receive what you're doing in that way, because you're trying to feel special, you're trying to be awarded, you're trying to have your own way, because you're trying to have a good and take situation of the way how it goes. Between the middle to the left side for you, 8 Pentacles Sword, there's perfection. Tarot Zero, there's transformation. 10 Pentacles Sword, there's wealth. 3 Cups there's no celebration. 10 Wands Reverse, there's no burdens. 8 Swords Reverse, there's a misunderstanding. Magician right, there's skill. Yeah, because that's how it goes. If you're having a misunderstanding, things are not going as planned, because that's the way it works in that way. Sagittarius, you have to pay attention to what you want, what you get, but then that's how it goes. You're trying to proceed with caution. You're trying to believe what you're doing in that way, because that's how it goes. Let me clarify this Magician card. With 4 Series, you're going to have bad luck. 9 Sorcerer, there's trauma. King Pentacles Series, there's no security. 2 Cups, there's no relationships or friendships. Queen Wands Series, there's no charisma. Page Pentacles, there's prospects in this situation, right? That's how it goes. So if you're not dealing with to have a relationship or friendships or anything like that, that's happening to your situation, right? That's how it goes, Sagittarius. What's the middle situation? Page of Swords Reverse, there's no education. Just reverse, you're not telling the truth. Yeah, that's how it goes. So let me clarify this Justice card. So let's see who's on the left side. 9 Wands Sword, there's immaturity. 8 Cups, there's satisfaction. 10 Pentacles Reverse, there's no vision. You already have a career. But 6 Swords, there's movement. Yeah, because you're going to move in that direction. That's how it goes in that way. Because you're acting like, well, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do it. But if you keep doing it, that's how it goes. What's this Page of Pentacles about? Empress, there's nourishment. 3 Swords, there's heartbreak. Yeah, because you're going to feel sad. You're going to feel whimpering. You're going to know what's going to be, what's true, what's not. But that's how it goes. It depends on your point of view in that way, because that's how it goes in that perspective. What's this movement about? Ace of Wands Reverse, there's no new beginnings. 2 Swords Reverse, you already have what your path is. 9 Cups, there's fulfillment. Yeah, because everything's fulfilled. Opposite. Page Wands Reverse, there's no invention. Humans, there's restrictions. Yeah, because you're being restricted. And when you're being restricted, things are not going as planned. Things are not going as they occur to be, because that's how it goes, right? That's the way it is. So you understand of how it goes in that way. You're trying to understand what you're going to do, but you understand how it is, right? You have to believe, and when you do it, that's the way it works. In that way, it's like, okay, everything seems to be good. This is the way it works. But you know what, Sagittarius, you pay attention on what's happening. Pay attention to what's going on in the situation. No matter what it is. But that's how it goes, right? If it happens to you, it's going to happen to them, And the way how this is, Sagittarius, you pay attention what's going to be happening in that way, because you think, okay, everything's going to be fine, alright, I know what to do. But you know what, I guarantee you that there is a high percent that you need to understand to have your own self-control, They should have their own self-control. You have a self-control, right? That's how it goes. But you know what? I'm going to make you laugh for a minute. It's like, by logical explanation, that there's going to be a 50-50 chance where you're going to pay attention to the way how you're going to do it in that perspective, and you do exactly how it is. But that's how it goes, right? So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please give a comment if you want, and enjoy. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you. Bye for now, everybody. Thank you, and bye.